The sheer enormity of the con job is what most people will have a hard time grappling with. Even people who are awakened slightly, and I think most people are awakened slightly at this point. But the enormity of the con is what's really going to confuse people. Because where we live is basically what I call planet mind control. And the average person believes they're too smart and intelligent, and they believe that their well of knowledge is really, really deep. So they believe I can't be put under mind control. And where we live, there is a group of people who have figured mind control out completely. And they've been here a long time. And they've been using mind control and poisons, because poisons upregulate the ease of mind control. But this group has been here a very long time. So this is the conundrum, is that most things people are doing on a regular basis destroy themselves. Absolutely obliterate themselves and their families and their children. And they think they can't be put under mind control. Now, the people who are the mind control experts, they have organized all the self-abusive and all the self-destructive modalities by which people voluntarily destroy themselves financially, they destroy themselves physically, they destroy themselves morally, ethically, spiritually. And so you can see the problem. The problem is, although most people understand in a guaranteed way that they're not happy, they're using their mouth as a garbage compactor, they're overweight, they can't bend down to tie their shoes, they're not having regular bowel movements, they have cellulite, they have headaches, they have disease, they have cancer. They think this is all by chance. They think this to them, that's the normal. Because they look around and everybody else to the left and to the right of them are experiencing the exact same thing. And again, the people who are organizing this, where humans live less and less time on this planet, like the average lifespan over the past 4 years have dropped from, in North America, it's around 77, and it's dropped down to, I believe, 74 or even 73. So how long would a human really live if they weren't the subject of mind control campaigns since the day they were born, and they just basically ate healthy, thought healthy, and did what humans were supposed to always be designed to do? Like, how long would the average human live? Well, we don't really know, because there's chemicals coming out of, certain airplanes. They're poisoning the food, they're poisoning the water. And again, the primary reason here is that the group, this very old group, who is in the ruling business, they rule people. They farm people. They farm people like cattle. They basically raise a herd of humans and pen them in what's called cities. And at first they use them as milking cattle. And the milk they get from these humans in the cities is their taxation. And then quickly after that, the human farmers who know the farming cycle, they start being predators with the human cattle that they have inside the farm, called cities. And then they use those milking cattle as basically beef cattle. Because there's a point where, to farm humans, you have to make them extremely sick and extremely poisoned, and it takes a lot of effort to do that. Then eventually it just becomes too much effort. And the great thing about the human bee colony is that a lot of the humans build up honey, or what's called wealth. They have condominiums and houses and gold and silver and crypto. So they have all these assets. It's just like a apiary, just like a beehive. If you got to give the bees enough time to produce the honey, and then of course the bee farmer comes in and steals the honey. So what we see today, all these places, is, this is a city, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. It's a human bee colony, and it's also a human cattle farmer. And the people who have built up the wealth here, the human farmers who are very, very old, fully intend to come and collect the honey that they've organized century after century. So we're in what's called the harvest time. And again, the average person cannot believe what's going on. They can't fathom that this is the cycle they're involved with, because of course, for the group that I'm talking about to organize all this, when you come out of the womb, you got to be in these mind control systems. You got to be attacked chemically by the medical system to give this very particular form of brain damage where you can't figure things out. And it could go as far as something like circumcision, or the vitamin K shot, or the V pushes under the skin. And that's why they won't, I can't even say the word. I can't even say the word, even though everybody understands what I mean by push something under skin. I can't even say it because they know that that's the linchpin of the entire operation, is this ongoing poisoning that's front-loaded when you're a child. In the first year of life in Canada, they give 17 pushes under the skin of 24 different concoctions. And in the US, I think it's up to around 30 now, of maybe 17 or 18 different concoctions. And again, you can't mention it, because if you figured out that you're ruled through poisoning and mind control, and poisoning helps upregulate mind control, you'd really start putting things together very quickly. And so they're going to try and remove off the chessboard the most important pieces of this puzzle. If you need more information like this, please email me at info@jchristoph.com. I'll put you on my email list, and I'll slow drip you some information over time. This is Jason Christoph signing off. Thank you for listening.